Hi, everyone. Welcome tonight. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Join us. I'm your host, Tania Stewart, as well as an eco blogger with experience Nicola Valley, helping promote our community businesses, nonprofit agencies, musicians, artists, and tourism in our valley and our sister community, Logan Lake. So, again, I welcome you and every Thursday night. And tonight, I would also like to remind everyone to support our veterans on November the 11th by wearing a poppy, or if not, by donating some money. So tonight is my second time actually doing a live show. So please forgive me if there are some bloopers. And if something happens, just stay tuned. And I'm sure technical difficulties, we can figure it out. So I would also like to thank everyone out there for watching Nicola Valley Talk Show and also reading our blogs on Experience Nicola Valley. It means so much to us and means so much to our guests. And it's just a huge support to our communities, and it's unity with the community. So many will recognize our guest as the current face behind the pins. I always remember seeing the back of this guy's legs because he was always running down the lane, having to reorganize the pins when they got all tangled. And after taking his father's after actually I should say, um, after acquiring his father's gracious hosting talent, always welcoming everyone with a smile and a handshake, a laugh, something funny. Now that Ewan has retired, his cleaning spray, shoe bottle cleaning spray, his son, Scott Turner, has taken the lead. So let us now welcome Scott Turner. Hello, Scott.
Hi, Tanya. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, and thank you for coming. And like I've known you forever and a day, and I grew up in the bowling alley. I mean, that's a huge part of my life, and probably part of many people's lives.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
And I'm just so happy. You know, Scott, this is my second, as I was saying, live. And at one time, I'm so excited. At the other time, I'm so nervous because I've known you forever. And then maybe that kind of like makes a person nervous. I don't know. But anyways, I'm so happy that, that you're here.
Thanks.
So,
No, thanks. This is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
yes. So, Scott, on to my first question. I always ask this one to people because it just gives just a background of you. So, Scott, could you please provide a snapshot of yourself, a bio of sort, to our listeners?
Yeah. I guess in Merritt, everyone always knows me as the bowling alley guy, and rightfully so. I was 5 years old when my parents bought the place, and have been there pretty much all the time ever since. And whether it's back for Christmas or back during the holidays or any other time of season, yeah, it seems like I can never quite get away from there. That's for sure. Currently living in Kelowna now. I got the family up here, so I'm married to a beautiful wife. We've got two boys, 11 and 17 years old. So we're definitely busy, and yeah, everyone's kind of excited that we've taken over the show at the Bowling Centre in Merritt.
And I'm sure, many people have, and that's great because I mean, you have been a facer, and because you grew up there and such, and you were also, I'm pretty sure, a pretty supreme bowler yourself, right?
Well, if I said yes, I'd be bragging, and if I said no, I'd be lying.
It's an oxymoron kind of in a way. So, Scott, I've been fortunate to have, like I was saying, many memories growing up with you and your family and many other families, making lifelong friends at the Merritt Bowling Alley, which was called the Nicolanes back in the time. Scott, could you share with us when your parents purchased this business and why here in Merritt?
Oh, well, yeah, it was 1974. It was in the summertime, and prior to that, our family was in Salmon Arm, and my mom's parents owned the bowling center in Salmon Arm at that time, and I think they built that place in the mid '60s. So literally, I was born into the business. So yeah, I guess they just looked for an opportunity, found Merritt, and that's where we moved.
And why not Merritt? Because it is a beautiful town and it's a beautiful community. And back in the time in '74, I mean, literally the town stopped at the bowling alley. Like there wasn't too much after that.
There wasn't much around there, even where it is right now. I know that both lots beside us there was vacant land, and obviously that's not the case now, is it?
No, it isn't. It sure is growing. And I mean, and why not grow? So in 1974, your parents decided to move here. So, and through the years, we have seen and experienced many changes at the Merritt Bowling
Oh
Centre.
yeah.
I can remember when we had to manually keep score, like doing the old finger counting under the table. Well, I
Well,
did
you
that.
must be older than me then.
I remember doing that and thinking, "Oh my God, I don't want anyone to see me count my fingers." But what have been some of these changes through the years, and how have you kept up with the times?
Yeah, it's funny. There's been a lot of change, a lot of big changes too. Somebody put an ad in the one of the Merritt's connections page on. It was an advertisement back in 1961 when the bowling center was first built. It was the big grand opening, and I looked at the picture on there, and it's amazing just how the structure of the outside of the building has changed so much. There's a big addition to the side where the entrance is now, and prior to that, it was just our emergency exit door, so to speak. That was the main entrance. From there to new pin setters altogether to new scoring. The lounge has been added in there as well. This past year we just put in new lanes and new bumper rails for the kids so they don't have to throw gutter balls anymore if they're just learning how to do it. And yeah, there's been lots of changes there, that's for sure.
Oh, the gutter ball. Do they still have? Does that light go off, or that little? What's there an alarm like when you went past?
Yeah. So those actually haven't been working for the last few years, but now we've got the lanes in, and we're halfway with the new gutters. And once the new gutters are going in, then the new foul lights are going in, and they're actually going to start working again. So yeah, heads up to all the league bowlers on that one.
That is really good for the kids, because I remember being so panicked about like throwing that ball so hard and then falling too on at the same time and going over and catching my hands over and not touching that line.
And that buzzer that goes off, it almost sounds like an air horn.
What stops and looks at you? Oh, so much fun, I tell you. So before COVID-19, Scott, the bowling alley was always practicing safety measures, cleaning like the shoes, cleaning everything that your balls and the bowling. But now that you have taken on the spray cleaning torch from your father, Ewan, what other safety procedures have you put in place just to ease people's minds that who want to go out bowling?
Yeah, that's a great question, because between Caitlin, who manages the bowling center, and myself and Amy, who was there at the time, we kind of put together a plan that we thought it was just going to be like, how are we going to keep everybody as safe as possible? And I had some ideas, they had some ideas, and together we created a plan. And we've actually had someone, I don't know if it's someone from WorkSafe or one of the health or whoever it was, came in and even complimented us on what we were doing there and how we were doing it. So yeah, it's changed a lot. The regular entrance door is still where people come in. They don't leave their shoes at the front anymore. We've got a bin that they pack their shoes down to their lanes with them. And everybody has to stay in their own little section, right? So there's maximum of six bowlers per 2 sets of lanes, because we're keeping a spacer lane between all the bowlers. So we're only running at 50% capacity right now. But yeah, when people leave, they take their shoes, they put their shoe rentals in the bin that their street shoes are in. We spray them all down really well, and then they exit through the the opposite door on the east side of the building, the northeast side of the building, and yeah, so we're not people aren't crossing paths. Everyone's kind of got their own designated area. The BC government implemented no sales directly at the counter, self-serve. So all the drinks are going right down to them to keep people as distant as possible. And then when they do leave, we've got the staff that goes down and completely disinfects all the balls, all the touch spots, all the seats. So we're doing absolutely everything we can to keep all our bowlers and our staff safe.
Uh, and it's great. And I remember going to that place and it was so loud and it was so fun and like it was just like bang bang the balls and everything, right? And so Scott, being a financial advisor, owning your own company in Kelowna, due to circumstances and taking over the shoe spray, the cleaning spray, the torch of the lanes, and managing the bowling with the bowling alley. Like, when do you sleep? And could you share with our audience how you manage this?
Yeah, you know what? My financial business, it's a lot has changed there in the last 25 years or however long it's been now since I've been doing it. You know, where you used to have to be glued to the office and the telephone, and now it's so remote. I've got a SIM card inside my computer, and I'm full on access anywhere to chat with any of my clients, do any trades or whatever it is that I need to do. So my financial business is super easy to run. It doesn't matter where I am. And oftentimes when I'm in Merritt, I'll just go into the office and plug in and make some phone calls or do whatever I need to do. In fact, I've even had some clients from Kelowna come and meet me at the bowling center in Merritt as well, come down for a cup of coffee or whatever. So it's all been working out really, really well. Biggest challenge, you know, of course, you know, with your kids in school and being up there, and yes, there's some challenges there, but no, it's all working out really well. It's working out really well.
Well, that's very good. I've always known you as a very go-to kind of guy. Like, you were always going, right? And I think you kind of earned that from your parents, right? Because they were always so hardworking and such like that, and like amazing. Your family, like, I mean, everyone knows who the Turners are, right? Like you can't. You're like little major like famous people here in Merritt, right? Okay, so I'm not boosting it. Okay, it's your dad mostly. No. So, Scott, when we were growing up, we did not have cell phones or social media. We had to go and walk to school uphill 5 miles and downhill 5 miles and then up again, whatever, right? Back and forth. The following statement that you wrote when I was researching, well, I didn't have to research that much because I knew you and everything. What really stood out to me was what you said: any type of recreation is important, whether it is hockey or curling. I think it is really important to be in communication with others as opposed to just on our phones. And you also said bowling is one of those sports that still lets us communicate in a face to face type of arrangement. Scott, could you share with us more on this? Because I just love what you said.
Yeah. I just really feel that humans and the way we've evolved over the many years, we're social people, and uh, when you're socializing in business or you're socializing in recreation, it communication is just so important. You see bowlers come in all the time, and it's fortunate that we're not in a business where we're the complaints department at a big retail outlet, right? When people come bowling, they come bowling to have fun, and that's what we get to witness. It's great. Communication, social skills. Yeah, I can't say enough great things about it. Growing up there, it's one of the greatest things that could have ever happened to me. I remember even growing up there, my parents used to be thinking that I was neglected from not being able to grow up on a farm and learning about farm animals and stuff like that. And I just think that having personal skills and having the bowling center that's offered that has been fantastic. Everybody should be involved in it for sure.
And I agree with you. Like, I mean, Well, we had the backyards, right? We had the woods and everything, and we had that to explore. And I tell you, having social skills is something a lot of children grew up without now. They do not know how to talk to people face to face. They can talk to them on the phone or on the computer, right? And it is imperatively important that children need to have social skills, and along with what is it? I'm looking for the word of the sportsmanship kind of, because in bowling you're high fiving, and meanwhile you're kind of but you're high fiving,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
and you know what's amazing is that even the more competitive bowlers, and they're in out of town tournaments and what have you, they're giving everybody else a high five, and that's their competition as well. So there's a lot of sportsmanship involved, not just in their from themselves or their own team, but just even all their competitors as well. Everyone's always cheering everybody, so it's a great atmosphere for sure.
and I do know with the BC Interiors, I mean, you would have people that would go and support the bowlers, right? That
Yeah,
hadn't made, and that is just so much camaraderie and community unity in so many ways.
yeah.
And Scott, could you just lightly focus on like the family fun, which you did, but the functions, the parties, the Christmas events. Like you can have Christmas parties, you have birthday parties, I guess up to six to a certain amount. Could you lightly touch on that?
Yeah, so the Christmas parties this year are obviously going to be a lot different than how we ran them last year. But we had a lot of staff parties last year. Um, and it's just fun, right? Everybody goes there to have a good time, have a few drinks. So they've been running really, really well in the past. This year, being every second lane, we can't have a group of 50 bowlers anymore. In fact, we just had a phone call the other day that someone wanted to book some lanes for a group of 50. So unfortunately, we can't accommodate that and keep spacing inside the center at the same time. And as much as you hate to turn down that business, you have to look out for the community too, right? But what we can do is we are doing groups of 6 per lane, and having a spacer lane between the next group. So everybody's not getting in a group of more than 6. Everybody's keeping their distance from the next group beside them. So we could do a group as high as 24, where we could have 4 groups of 6. But even then, everybody's got to stay in their own designated area. So it's definitely going to be different. But we're gonna do what we can and see how it all works out for everyone.
Well, and yes, I know because my partner there, his company had bowling there last year, Valley Carriers. Before we had the dinner party, Christmas party. It was in January, I believe. So it was great. It was before the COVID came out, and what an amazing time. We got there just as it was ending, and I was like, oh, I didn't get the bowl, but I got to watch everyone. So Scott, um, please share with our listeners, and I know you've talked about some of them, but the programs the Merritt Bowling Centre has offer the league bowling, say, and the Friday night cosmic bowling, which is just
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. So we still do have a lot of competitive bowlers. So we've got both of our night leagues that run Mondays and Thursday nights. There's still a couple of spots available. And I don't want to say competitive because there's a lot of new bowlers there as well. It's an all handicap system. So it doesn't matter if your average is 100 or if it's 250. Everything is all based on what your average is. So if your average is 200 and mine's 100, you have to spot me 100 points every game, and that's the way it works. So it makes it fair, it makes it fun, and makes it competitive as well. So we got those. Those are the Thursday and the Monday night leagues, adult leagues, and then we've got our seniors 55 plus on Mondays and Thursday afternoons, and we've got a new program that we're starting on Wednesday nights. It's family night.
Oh.
So we've got an hour and a half, and we're doing the cosmic bowling as well. And it's $60 for the whole family, and that includes pizza and pop and shoe rental and taxes. Everything's included in that. So it's $60. You got dinner and you got entertainment. It doesn't get better than that. Tuesday nights, we got our Toonie Tuesday, and then the Cosmic Bowling again on Fridays and Saturday nights. And that's been a big hit. We've got to turn the music down a little bit now because of the new COVID rules, but we've got the lights, we've got the black lights, and we've got a whole new artwork done on the we call it the catwalk, the walls, all the way from lane 1 and lane 8 all the way down to the back. We had an artist come in who painted everything in a cosmic bowling theme, and he did it in all glow-in-the-dark paint. So when the lights go off and the black lights get turned on, this place glows up like it's absolutely incredible. Even if you don't bowl, you got to come by and just check it out because it looks absolutely beautiful.
I'm going to have to. I mean, I was bowling there for quite a few nights there before COVID started, bringing my family. And in fact, bringing relatives who were traveling from Toronto. They just love it. I mean, this is one of the places that they go. And we'll get into that a little bit later. I just want to say, Scott, we have Darla Miller right now. Remember her from school?
Hi, Darla.
Shout out to Darla and Jennifer Shell, who is a stay-at-home. Well, I don't want to put it. School mommy who has 7 children and stays at home and schools her children, and she's watching this right now. That's who I can see at this moment. So shout out to Darla and Jennifer Shell. Okay, Scott. Then moving on. I mean, I have so many amazing memories. Like I was saying earlier about bowling, like the sound of Les Tanska's laugh and his sarcasm as he's getting his 6th or 7th friggin' strike, right? I mean, that man was a friggin' phenomenon on bowling, right? And then his daughter, Debbie Tansker, became one too. Donald Krause. Let's do a shout out to Donald Krause. He's still bowling, isn't he?
He sure is, yeah.
Yeah, and his family, his mom, who bowled, and his sister Flora, who bowled, like amazing. And my mom who bowled, my dad who bowled, and your dad who was a great bowler. My brother was, and we could go on. But anyways, and your dad always assuring me that I would win next year going to the BC Interiors because I came close one time, and but I never did. But he always brought me up no matter what, and he brought up everyone too. And I'm sure you follow in his footsteps. So and I've always felt part of this bowling family. So how have you and your family and your father and that continued and managed to do this throughout the decades?
Yeah, it hasn't been easy. I know that during like the 70s and 80s, bowling was so popular that we literally had to turn bowlers away when they wanted to join leagues. And I guess where my career's taken me now, and I can kind of see, looking back, what was the problem with the bowling industry. But back in the mid to late 80s, it was almost really, really uncool for kids to bowl. Kids didn't want to bowl back then. It was nerdy and nobody wanted to do it. Not just in Merritt, but that was across the whole country. And I think that's really, really where the whole Proprietor Association missed out, was they weren't attracting the young generation. And as that young generation grew older, there was nobody to fill the adult leagues anymore. And bowling really took a big dive in the 90s. That's where I changed careers and got into finance. But now it's really turning around again. Bowling's really turning around again, but not on the competitive scale, just on the recreational side. People want to go, they want to have some drinks, they want a nice atmosphere. And that's what's really coming back.
Well, and it is a workout, because I could barely walk the next day after bowling, just 2 rounds of it, and it's so much fun. Like, in total, I used to bowl like I think 4 nights a week, which was crazy, but it was so much fun, and that is so great, because we need families to get together more, and we need more fun-based stuff, right? And getting out.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. It was in the, I mentioned earlier about that ad from 1961 that was in Our Connection. You've got to read that. You have to read that. It's so funny, because the way they were advertising to the whole family was, they were saying it relaxes Dad. It is a good something about the kids being able to get off some steam or wind down or whatever. I can't remember what it said about the kids, but then it said about the moms. It read, "It's Slim's moms." So that's something else that's changed a lot, is the way you're allowed to advertise to your bowlers.
It's Slim's moms. So she hasn't had a baby.
You've got to read that. I'll put it up on the Merritt. Maybe I did already, but if I haven't, I'll put it on the Merritt Facebook page and the Merritt Bowling Facebook page, because it's funny just to read that one Slim's moms made me chuckle.
That is hilarious. Man, times change for sure. Scott, could you share with our listeners what is so special about the Nicola Valley and our sister town, Logan Lake, and why travelers should visit our region and more tourists?
More tourists. You know, I guess the whole Nicola Valley is just one of those areas that has everything, right? You've got flatlands, all the agricultural areas. In the city, you've got the rivers, the lakes, the mountains. I don't think there's anything that the Nicola Valley doesn't have that our whole province of British Columbia has, other than maybe oceanfront. That's probably about it. But literally, there's everything there. It's a beautiful little community. It's a small community, but friendly community. I don't know. It's always home to me. That's for sure.
It is to me too, also, Scott. And could you share with us also, Scott, what the Experienced Nicola Valley bloggers and this talk show means to the community, and how, in your opinion, is it benefiting local businesses and such here in Merritt and such as Logan Lake?
Yeah, I guess it just gives businesses the opportunity to share with everybody what they're doing, right? And it also gives all the viewers just to learn more about what some of the businesses are happening in the community. I think this is a great idea. I think you guys are doing really, really well.
Well, thank you. And I like, truly, I love Merritt, and I love the business people, especially downtown. I love downtown Merritt. It's just something unique about it. So Scott, before I let you go, is there anything else that you'd like to share that maybe we hadn't touched on?
It's funny, and to back that up too about what you guys are doing here. We had somebody come into the bowling center just last year who has been living in Merritt for almost 20 years, and she comes in and she goes, "I didn't know we had a bowling alley here." So no, I think this is just a good opportunity to get this out there a little bit more, and yeah. But no, I don't see anybody come in on the family nights. I know that one's really going to start to take off. It's filling up fast, and we're going to be doing it every Wednesday night. So hopefully we'll see a lot of people out there.
And what a great day! What a great night to get through the week, right? And kind of tire your children and slim down your wife or your husband in these days. Scott, I was just that show that, but that's priceless. So I'm going to quickly say, Scott, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to keep you on here just because I just want your input here. So I would like to send out to a request to all past, present, and future bowlers, people that have been part of the bowling family, I could say, through the years. I want to do a blog, a written one. So, but I also want to do a picture blog. So I'm going to put my my email address here, and I would like everyone to send out their pictures, their funniest pictures, their heartwarming story. Make it short because it is a blog. And send it to me, because I'm going to be doing both, and you'll be immortalized forever. And I know there's a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of stories I have a lot of myself. And a tribute to Scott and his family for their many, many years of their work and giving us so much fun for the year. And I want some from you too, Scott.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Okay. So there is my email, Tania, 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 13 Stewart envro@gmail.com. So send them out, and let's make it really good. And Scott, I thank you so much again for coming on and being my guest.
Hey, thanks very much. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, and if you want to stick around, I'll talk to you a bit as I close. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, thank you. Wow, wasn't that great, people? Like, I mean, Scott Turner, and we've all known him. Well, I have, anyways. I went to school with him, grew up with him, and many people know his father, Ewan, and I mean, and his dogs. Oh, just, but anyways, so that was a great show. And like I said, I grew up around the bowling alley. And I thank you, and a big, huge thank you, and a bravo to the Turner family for all the memories and everything that they have provided, and all the fun times. And I'm telling you, many times. So, Nicola Valley Talk Show every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And remember the 4 R's: reuse, rethink, recycle, and reduce. Thank you, everyone, again for watching and participating in these shows, and for reading our blogs. Thank you very much. Okay, good night.